the RTC board, do you represent both Camas and Washougal
Yes.
and East County? Okay, so it's a similar
Right.
position as what the C-Tran represents.
Camas and Washougal and then the surrounding area, so I would represent pretty much East County.
Okay.
And that RTC board has only one representative for North County, so Bill Ganley represents Ridgefield, Battleground, La Center, Yacold. So, but it's a different functioning body than C-Tran, of course,
And
a
a
different concept.
Quick back of the envelope calculation suggests that we do not want to talk about a population-based representation. If Camas and Washougal together got 1, then the city of Vancouver, instead of 3, would get 5.
No, 3's good. It's only, you only need 3. I mean, you know, beyond that, it's excess. I see what you're saying, you raise a good point, but I think we can get by.
And the total population of Battleground, Ridgefield, and La Center are quite close to the population of Camas and Washougal together.
I don't think Battleground's included in that, is it? I thought it was just Ridgefield and La Center.
No, Battleground and Yacold share a position as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, they're
And
separate.
Ridgefield and
Okay.
La Center share one.
Right.
Ridgefield, yeah, Ridgefield and La Center are going to total less than 10,000.
Well, it's about 4,000 according to the county statistics.
Which would argue for Camas and Washougal both having 1 member. I can understand that a lot of people have
Well,
the
but
perspective.
if Camas and Washougal both have 1 member, then Vancouver gets
But
10.
no, hold on. I can understand, as I was saying, I can understand, many people have the perspective that Camas and Washougal are the extensions of the same city. You just sort of keep going through Vancouver, and then Camas and Washougal, and then finally you can reach the gorge. And for a lot of people, I can understand they don't understand the distinctions between Camas and Washougal versus La Center, Ridgefield, Battleground, and Yacold, which seem to be islands in the middle of the county. So I can understand why that would lead some people to believe why we're basically one big metropolitan area. Why not just give us 1 representative? Population-wise, that would probably be our strongest argument for going after 2 representatives, 1 for each city. Geography-wise, I can understand that being a less successful argument because we are so close to each other.
Jennifer?
Yeah, I was just going to say that since Councilmember Dietzman has already served her 2-year term as of the end of this year, if we were to go to an MOU, I would say, just my opinion, it would be Washougal's turn to send a representative. And I see here that the letter was sent in November, so it really is happening before the end of the year. They would really like to have a decision to reaffirm our existing representative before the end of the year. So something that we need to keep in a tickler file or somewhere so we can, you know, talk about it as we get a little bit closer.
Yep. Other comments, other thoughts? Obviously, we'll start processing some of this stuff as we go through the remainder of the year already in there, so. Okay.
Sean?
Yes.
Just one thing. There are other ways to do this if we're not represented on the board. We can appear before the board.
Sure.
And I would be happy to do that. But I don't want to go as Dave Shoemaker. I want to go as the representative from the Washougal City Council. So we can come to an agreement on what we should say there. I'd be happy to go. If not,
Interesting.
I'll defer that.
Okay.
Well, I think it would be appropriate for council to, I don't know, craft a resolution or craft some sort of a statement about our position on issues. I mean, it's done all the time.
Certainly can.
I don't see a problem with that.
Thank you.
This last item that's going around is on the top of the department head manual. Some possible changes. The mayor sent an email out maybe a week and a half ago or so. At the time, we thought we might be coming to you very quickly. Would have been the meeting last week to talk about this. It turned out we didn't need to do that. The background for this is I think there were recent conversations with the mayor and the council around the department head's manual within the last couple of months, and during that conversation, there were some concerns about two specific issues in the manual. One is vacation accrual, or the rate of vacation accrual for department heads, and then the other was the issue of severance pay. So this document is, I want to make sure it's clear, this is not how these topics appear in the manual. They're on different pages, but we're only talking about these two specific issues tonight. So this is the cut and paste version and excerpts and put together. So the concern, as I understand it, around, well, before I get into some of the substance, we'll be talking about the possibility of making some tweaks or adjustments here if it pleases the council, and this is kind of more of an informational and informal type discussion about this topic. One thing to keep in mind, and certainly this would be the approach that the mayor and I have talked about and will be presenting with respect to any of the options, and also which is, I don't know if you can say industry standard, but it's common practice that when adjustments are made to this type of a policy, an employment policy that relates to part of the total compensation for a certain class of employees, particularly if there's a truncation of some benefit that's described. So if there was a slowing down of vacation accrual rates or a reduction in the severance pay that you see here, what the organization does is creates basically a two-tier system. It's kind of like PERS 1 and PERS 2, or PERS 1, 2, and 3, where employees that are current and existing and who came into employment with certain understandings around the manual are covered by that manual, and we can continue to be covered by that manual. And then day forward, new employees in this category would be covered by the new manual. And then over, it's grandfathering. And then over time, all of your employees would be under those other provisions. So that's the context in which this is presented. So into some of the specifics on vacation, you can see that there are two schedules at the top of the page. One is for myself and department heads, and then the other is for the other exempt non-represented employees. Sometimes we refer to them here as the mid-managers. And you can see that those accrual rates are a little bit different. And then we also have accrual rates that are bargained with each of our three union groups. And it's my understanding that right now there's therefore kind of three tiers of these accrual rates, and Jeanette, correct me if I misspeak here. The highest accrual rate is at the top of the page, administrator and department heads. The next highest is the mid-level managers, the non-represented employees, and then so far the bargaining agreements that we have even a little bit less than that. And then in the language at the paragraph below the second table, you can see that additionally department heads have some buyback opportunity at the discretion of the mayor to buy back some vacation time. So one possibility with this, if it is the desire of the council to try to slow down accrual rates in the department head's manual, would be to look at the top category where it's city administrator